Hi, welcome to Sekiro. We're doing the Ashina Castle Idol. There's lots to do here. We're fighting a general, we're getting a couple of Gourd Seeds, we're opening a merchant, we're going all over the roofs, there's lots of items to pick up, 3 or 4 idols to unlock. So click the description, show more in the description for timecodes if you want to jump to something specific. And the eye in the top right will pop up when we hit idols and other important stuff, so you can jump to that video if you want. But first up, let's get a key. Talk to this woman. She'll tell you about Mount Senpu, albeit somewhat cryptically. But with that done, jump across this tree and head up to grab this coin purse. Then we're going to jump in the moat. There's not much to see or do here except grab emblem, so you may as well snag that now. You can come around here and hook back up. Later on we will be able to dive underwater. Sorry, I just figured I'd show you down here. There really is nothing to see. We'll be able to dive underwater, and it opens up a lot of these water areas quite significantly, along with a bunch of treasure carp and usually quite a lot of items too. But there's an eavesdrop opportunity over this bridge across the river where we picked up the coin purse, and also if you have a look down here, it's Ashina Reservoir, which we will come back to, and it's got a few new people and items. There's quite a lot going on there. It's actually pretty rough at this point. You probably want a little more health before you head over there. A couple of mini bosses, and there's some items and rats down there, but as I said, we'll head back there later. For the time being, head over this way. Once you've eavesdropped these two, gank one, ideally the spear guy probably, and then kill the other to get the Gatehouse Key. The Gatehouse Key unlocks the spear, but that's down in the reservoir, so we will come back to that later. In the meantime, there's a big guy with a bell here. He was the guy that eavesdrop dudes were talking about. He's got some pretty cruddy armour on his chest. You can kill his dogs and sometimes sneak around behind him. A Gaijin Sugar will guarantee it. Don't miss the black gunpowder there. But an easier plan is to run back in here. You can reset or hide. It doesn't really matter which. Hiding will take a bit longer. Just run down further into the abandoned dungeon. Wait till he turns around. If you want to rest, do so. Don't miss the vendor here. He sells a prayer bead for 1400, which we will pick up later. But there is a nearby heavy coin purse. It's just on the way back to this fella, but there's the prayer bead at the bottom. So remember that that's there, keep it in mind. We will be picking it up pretty soon. Anyway, there's 500 coins in that coin purse. Don't cash it in now, obviously. If you did rest, rather than just going back after he de-aggroed, kill a dog to distract the other dogs, and then run up behind him and kill him. Then deal with the dogs however you see fit. Shuriken, death blow, whatever you like. Deflect. And then we're going to head back to Ashina Castle. You can either take the fast travel or go back across the bridge and grind a little more experience from the 2 enemies there. From there there's a memory that you can listen to, so get that done. And then we're going to go unlock Ashina Reservoir, I think. Yeah, so head this way, open this door. It doesn't look like it should be openable from this side, but it is, and there's another one directly in front of it that is too. Now, there's not much going on here. There's some scrap iron, which is good. And a Mibu balloon, but there's a hook up to a roof, and I have a feeling you can drop down here later. There's also a moat, but again, not much to see or do there until we get the ability to dive. Dropping down, you'll find pellets there, and then through here a door to open, which takes you to Ashina Reservoir. Now, I'm not going to explore that now, we'll do that in the next video, but that's the way to get to that outpost, and there's an eavesdrop opportunity directly in front of you. There you there, did I just call it an outpost? Idle, I mean. Okay, still left to do at the castle. We've got the roofs to clear out, a merchant to save, and a general. Let's take the general on first. And remember, you can do these in any order you want. The general isn't really anything that you haven't seen before. The only big difference is he's got some guards with him this time, or at least guards that are very close by. Thankfully they're all gunners, and if you've upgraded your shuriken to a spinning shuriken, they'll only take 2 spirit emblems each to take down. Throw 1 spinning and 1 regular into each of them. If you're finding that they're blocking your shots, wait until they're aiming at you. Try not to shoot him. I managed to do it there because I'm pretty clever. But once you've finished off the rifleman, if you did accidentally aggro him, grab the coins before you run away and then just run back to the idol. Hide down here against the wall. He'll kind of come down the stairs a little bit. You might have to wait a little while, and then you can just run back up the stairs and gank him from behind for the first knockdown. If you want to do it a bit more shinobi style and not be seen at all, well then the trick is not to hit him with the shuriken. There we go. And there we go. And then to come down and death blow him here. Now, of course, the super badass way to do it would be to leave the rifleman alive, but that seems a bit risky for me. Anyway, however you choose to do it, it's not much that you haven't seen before. He's got the regular general swipes. Firecrackers are going to be advantageous. You can use oil to whittle down a bunch of his health early on. Like most of these generals, he's actually pretty low health. See the grab there. And then I sacrifice a bunch of health just going for the greedy fire. This is a way not to do it. The amount of hits I take, see, I lose a thing too. Now I'm having to use more oil because I'm pretty sure the last one's run out. I walk straight into a thrust. Then I have to back off and heal again. That's like 2 healing gourds down. I keep throwing oil because I think it's healing. It's not. But I finally get the light, and it was really greedy. I should have waited for an attack that I could deflect, wait for him to be staggered, then throw the oil, then slide back, then throw the fire. Anyway, we got there in the end. It's taken enough of his health off now that deflecting is a really viable option. So you can just deflect what he throws at you, and his meter's going to build up really quickly, and even if he takes a break, it's not going to be a problem. Here's another run at it where I don't set him on fire. It's the first one that you saw, and it's just going to be deflect heavy and then using openings. You can dodge around a lot of these attacks too, but I find deflection generally to be the better option. He says getting hit by a Makiri thrust. That's what you want to watch out for here, the Makiri counter. Fighting him on stairs can be awkward, but it should be okay. You jump high enough that you can get over any sweeps he does. The Makiri shouldn't be a problem as long as he's not coming up, but even then, as long as you get the timing, it's not going to be a problem. Take advantage of those long flurries that he does just to build up deflect. You can see because his health's so high still, because I haven't set him on fire, his posture's recovering very quickly. So when I put damage on him and he backs off a little bit, the bar goes down noticeably. So it makes it really hard if you're not keeping the pressure on. If one of his hits gets through, obviously back off. I haven't gone into too much detail on the moves here because if you've come this far, you've seen a bunch of generals already, and this guy really isn't much different to the rest. He's just got a little more health. Watch for the posture regain move. It's actually a free chance to land a bit of extra damage. Now his health's down to about half, his posture's going nowhere. I managed to brilliantly get caught by the grab. I think I dodged into it thinking it was a Makiri, but that's okay. We got a Resurrect, that's why we have it. He's basically done. A couple more deflects, you see, and it's over. So this guy shouldn't pose too much of a threat to you. Now, a word of advice. You may notice my level going up there. I was playing it ridiculously fast and loose. I'd nearly leveled and I hadn't just gone and killed a couple of guys to knock my level over before fighting him, so that was a really risky play. But there is a chest behind him with a Divine Grass. You'll have got a Prayer Bead for beating him. There's, I think, a Mibu balloon of something around the corner here, maybe. Yeah, wealth. Down there is a vendor. And up here, the guys who've just seen me are these Nightjar assassins, who are kind of a pain in the bottom. Actually really easily defeated by the Nightjar attack, so keep that in mind. But the vendor down here wants you to clear the area of Samurai for him in exchange for some information. Notice that the Nightjar dude is still hitting me from all the way over there. Now I'm trying to swing across to get out of line of sight from him, and this is one of the traps around here, just falling down here into these guys. If you do that, don't worry, just come around to the idol. Their pathfinding is bad enough, it'll take them a while to catch you. You should have time to rest and reset. So come around. There's a few ways to take them. You can go to the air and take them. It's a bit risky taking them out in the open like this, because if you don't know that the rifleman up behind you is a trap, it's very easy to run up to him. When you run up to him, you get seen by a rat and an assassin. I thought I had Shuriken active there. A rat and an assassin. The assassin will be throwing Shuriken at you while the rat's trying to poison you. If you manage to take the rat and get up to the assassin to take him out, another assassin will see you and start throwing stuff at you, so it can get out of hand quite quickly. So your best bet is, and I'll run through it in a minute, going high to take out the assassins first. But if you just want to go super aggressive, that's the way to take these guys out. This is where the rifleman is. So yeah, you see, if you go up here, he's going to see you. That's also going to activate the... well, yeah, I died there. That's also going to activate the assassin over there. You can go in here and have a lot of fun with it, right? But yeah, it is going to bite you in the butt. So just be wary of open spaces and places that you haven't been before and running into traps, because the level designers are really good. They make it incredibly difficult to just walk through areas. There's always someone peeking around a corner about to stab you in the face when you least expect it, or something to surprise you. Here's the rat joining in, and he gets a grab on, and then there's a lost shuriken from this dude that finishes me off. So yeah, I know this is kind of belaboring the point, but just be wary of new areas. Always try and stay high, and don't be afraid of running away if things aren't going your way. Don't feel you have to get the kill. You can reset and then use your new knowledge to go back and clear better. So this is the way that you want to clear this zone. Jump across here, jump across here. That was a bad jump. But you want to head for this nest. That's a ceramic shard. If you pop around here, that was the previous assassin that we saw last time. This is the one that I talked about who was watching this one. So then you come over here, jump across this, get that guy. There's a rat just down to the right hanging onto a tree. But if we get this rifleman and then drop down onto one of these guys, do a loud noise, you'll notice the yellow arrow pops up, and he's going to come and investigate. So then you come up here, wait for him to swing round, get a death blow on him, Then you can go and engage the rest of them. If you're still not quite comfortable with ground combat like this, don't miss the black gunpowder, was it? There. Scrap iron. If you're still not comfortable with ground combat, I recommend thinning a few of the troops, getting more silent backstabs, taking your time to clear them out, but definitely get your practice in. Some more stuff there, Fistful of Ash. Then come up this way, and you've got these guys here. You can drop kill one to thin the pack a bit. You can get one stealth assassination if you're quick. I was trying to jump across and failed, so I just ended up going for it. But again, you want to practice against fighting against large groups. Use gunpowder, firecrackers, sorry, in your favour, or Fistful of Ashes if you have to. But there are going to be times where it's just going to be quicker than trying to set up stealth attacks across all of them. And these guys, with your new attack power of 3, should be going down quickly enough that it's 1 or 2 hits or 1 or 2 deflects, and that's it for them. Combined with the Makiri counter, and they're in good shape. Anyway, go report into your friend that you've saved now, and he says he'll move on and hopefully see you later after giving you a Nightjar beacon memo, which talks about using these incense burners. You can see one there to indicate where the Nightjar are. Now this guy, if you come close to this building and back off, he could be around the front, where we saw him last time when he was shooting at me while I was looking at the merchant after killing the general. Remember, before you go up to the roof, it's really rough up here if you don't know what you're doing. You want to make sure that you've leveled. The XP from these guys is pretty decent. It's 80 per pop, so you can just do a quick loop of the 2 at the beginning if you want, and then go back to the idle just to nudge your level over. Anyway, gank that guy who may also be in front down below. And there's one guy up there, you can see the yellow arrow, and another one off to the right who's wandering over. You can choose to wait for them to lose interest. Taking on 2 of them is pretty rough. One is pretty straightforward. This is the building here. There's also a pellet up there that I completely missed, so I'm just tagging that now. Sorry, that's a splice in, but we'll head back. You can drop down here below. Make sure you've killed the one above you, obviously, and then if you jump and run across here, you should be able to get the first one. Now, what you want to do is not head further down the roof. Keep them up this side. Keep them no further up than where you are, essentially. You can head down that way as much as you like, but don't head left as we're facing the screen now towards those eaves. The reason for that is you might see a kite up in the distance, and there's a very bad fire dude here. As soon as you cross that first one, he's going to come rocketing in. That was actually a pretty bad attempt to show what to do. He'll come in a lot sooner. But when you're fighting these guys one-on-one, just keep the pressure on. The Nightjar slash attack, or the Nightjar attack that you can unlock, will actually allow you to close distance when they back off pretty effectively, so use that to your advantage. Here's a better showing of what the deal is. Just crouch here. He'll collide into that slight upward hill and then not hit you. If he jumps away like that, just use the Nightjar slash to catch him up to keep the pressure on. There's one more of these guys, but we don't have to worry about him just yet. Once you've killed him, come to the final eve, you'll see a hookup point and an assassin waiting up here. So get him. Now there's a couple of ways across here. One's a quick one that's slightly risky, and if it goes wrong you're going to have 4 of these guys all over you. But you hook here, come across the roof, drop behind this guy, kill him, and then we'll move on to the rest. I'll show you the slower, slightly more methodical way now. From killing the guy just after the guy from the kite, you come across to the left, this way. Sorry, I don't know why I'm spending so long looking around, just making sure there's no one on patrol underneath me. Jump across here, on the left, come around the back. And note there's an item up above that is, I don't know, it's a ceramic shard or something as I recall, and it's just there to troll you to walk into this guy's line of vision. Anyway, get him, you can do a ledge kill on him if you want, or come up behind him and do a regular assassination if you want the money and items. Then come around on the left, there's a guy waiting there, then directly to his right there's another one there, and then you just get this guy on patrol. Go either end, when he turns around, just run up and get him. Now we've got another kite up here you might just see on the left, and one guy on the right who's really a pain in the bottom. You want to crouch behind this again to avoid the attack. Try and get as many hits as you can on this fella, but watch out for the one around the corner who's going to run in and self-detonate. He'll kill you, and if you don't have a revive available, that's it, game over. And if this is your first time up here, you may have been overwhelmed and lost your revive against someone, so just be super wary. Ideally run away like that. I haven't found a decent way not to aggro him. This is a ceramic shard. You can have a look around the corner here and see him. That's more or less where he'll be. But it's kind of hard to pull him without the kite dude coming in. So, I don't know, that bit's tricky. Head back up this way, and over the roof there is that item there that we didn't pick up, because it just trolls you into that thing's vision. It's a sugar. And then we're going to head up to the Antechamber idol. Oh, you can also, if you want, although I don't recommend it, drop down to Old Grave Idol. There's some lizards down here you can death blow to get some health back if you've got the Light of Life skill. But up here, if you jump into this river and then swim down that way, that will get you to Old Grave Idol eventually. It's a bit rough. There's a couple of big-ish fights on the way, or at least one with a slightly rough enemy who can be a bit of a nightmare to backstab if you go in blind. And he can surprise you out of nowhere. So I would instead recommend, given that you just cleared the roof, go and check in at this idol. Grab this Gourd Seed for your efforts. And yeah, check in at this idol here. This is the Antechamber idol. There's a really good farming spot here too, so if you want to grind some levels out, do that. Go back, activate your Gourd Seed. You should now be up to 5, I think. And then head over, if this is your first time back to the Dilapidated Temple, and have a chat with this guy. He is the guy that you just saved, and he now has some items to sell. You can sell stuff to him too, so I recommend selling like excess ceramic ash, fistfuls of ash. Keep all the oil that you have, but those two are pretty good to sell. You want to raise 2,000, so maybe sell some coin purses too, or again go and grind against those enemies in the antechamber. Check the eye in the top right, or just wait about 30 seconds for a link to the next video. And then go and upgrade that Gourd Seed too. Check levels if you've got them. You've probably gained some pretty good experience from that, especially if you've been sensible and pushed levels up before going into new and dangerous things. Buy some spirit emblems if you've got any cash left over, because they're cheap at the moment. But that's it. There are a bunch of options from here. You can go and fight Genichiro, you can go to the Senpu Temple, you can make it all the way to Mibu Village and fight the corrupted monk way early. You can head down into the Sunken Temple. There's like 3 new weapons to get. Yeah, there's a lot to do. But check the playlist for more information on that. In the meantime, we will have a look at, what should we put in there? The Reservoir and Old Grave, because they both provide some prayer beads, which will allow us to be a little more upward powered. That's not a thing. A little more, have a little more health when we go against Genichiro for the first time. Anyway, that's it for now. See you in the next video. Bye.